Welcome back, Buck Tooth Buccos. OldManTup coming at you today with GBA Season 6 Week 1. And we got a bunch of new stuff going on for us this season, namely this layout done by Lady Kubu. Links will be in the description to her and her Twitter if you'd like to get her to commission you some fancy artwork like we have going on here with our layout. I mean, just look at that thing. It's beautiful. We got the pirate ship with our little Pirattata. We got all our guys in the cannon boxes, and we got the evil San Jose Sharpedos rolling in with the tide, riding on the backs of those poor enslaved pelipers. And I think it's time we set those guys free. So let's take a look at the team here. We're playing Tom and San Jose Sharpedos. So team we're bringing Mega Pidgeot, Hippowdon, Excadrill, Azelf, Heracross, and Tangrowth. Fairly standard sets this week. Completely physically defensive Hippowdon, completely specially defensive with the Assault Vest on the Tangrowth. Scarf Hera. Azelf is Expert Belt with coverage moves and U-turn. Excadrill is Swords Dance Life Orb set. No Rapid Spin this week. Mega Pidgeot, U-turn for priority, Hurricane, and Roost. And the team Tom brought was a little bit surprising because I speed tiered everything to get around Noivern if it was Scarfed and Mega Aerodactyl, and he didn't bring either of them, and he's got really slow stuff on this team, so I wonder what kind of shenanigans he has up his sleeve. And he's brought the Jellicent, which makes me a little bit nervous because I know how good that thing is because I used it, what I believe to be relatively well last season. And we're going to get this match underway. Thank you to Juan Marvel for recording this for us. So Juan, if you're watching, thanks. You're the best. So we're going to lead with Azelf because it outspeeds everything on his team that isn't Scarfed. Speed ties max speed Starmie, and I can just U-turn out depending on what's going on. He's going to lead with Xatu here, predicting me to lead with a Hazard Setter. We're going to go out into Jalapeno here. Jalapeno is our Tangrowth, and we just know we can take anything from this outside of like banded Brave Birds, if that's even a thing with Xatu. But fairly confident I could come and take any hit. Thought maybe he'd be setting up some things, maybe Tailwind, Trick Room, stuff like that. He's bringing the Mamoswine, and Mamoswine is going to miss, and that is huge. At this range, unless it was Adamant Banded or plus Attack Nature Banded, almost 100% guaranteed we could take any one single hit and return fire with Leaf Storm. That is going to be the end of Mamoswine going down really early in this match, and that's really good because that thing's really dangerous against my team. He's going to bring Starmie out. Starmie's going to go for the Ice Beam. We're going to take that well. I know Leaf Storm is going to do huge damage to this and put it into easily revengeable range. And it wasn't a question of the matter of fact whether or not we could take an Ice Beam. I knew no matter what, even spec set, we could take a hit. I'm going to bring A-Train back out here. We know we can take any move from this thing outside of a Shadow Ball if he was predicting the switch. And gonna come out here, bluff the Scarf, which we did turn 1 with the U-turn, and we are just going to U-turn out here because I figured he's probably gonna bring in Cobalion. I can bring in anything I want, namely Hippowdon, to come in and just get the sand up and scare this thing out. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna U-turn, and we're gonna bring out Winston. And Winston's going to kick up the Sandstorm, which is what he does, which is going to help us slowly pick away at most of what's left on his team outside of Cobalion, because he didn't bring a ground type other than Mamoswine, because it's the only one he has. Duh. I knew that before I said that. He's going to go for the Magic Bounce here. This was a really good play on his part, but it was my only good play to go with, because I have Earthquake, Stone. I don't have Stone Edge. I don't have Crunch. So I really, and Rocks doesn't hurt my team that much. I stay in here, and this may be top. What were you thinking? You just saw Magic Bounce. Why are you doing this? And I roar, The reason I did this was because I could have gone for Stealth Rocks and it'd do absolutely nothing unless he switched, or I could have roared, and in the event he switched, sent out his switch in, canceling his initiative, or if he stayed in, it roars me out and sends in any other one of my Pokemon, which is 100 times better at taking this out. So that was my thought process behind that, and it's going to bring out Mega Pidgeot, and it's going to give us the chance to Mega Evolve. So Hank is going to go Super Saiyan 3 and just start tearing things up. Going to go for the Hurricane, which hits all the time because of no guard, and that straight takes out Xatu. I don't know how bulky this set was, but that was just a wham bam thank you man moment, and Xatu has fallen off that Pelipper and gone straight into the drink. Jellicent's going to come out here. I don't want to fool around. I do have the U-turn for the things I outspeed but can't do much against, namely this thing. And we see this is a Curse Body Jellicent, which doesn't matter because the only Pokemon on our team with a Water-type attack is Azelf, which has Water Pulse for coverage against Arcanine and or Mega Aerodactyl if he brought it. He's going to set up the Trick Room here, and I'm like, okay, I see that. Slow team. He's got Machamp. And Mamoswine isn't the fastest Pokemon that he brought, so I can see that, and that makes a lot of sense because his team's speed, the 3 fastest things that he has are Mega Aerodactyl, Noivern, and Starmie, and those things are ridiculously fast. So the fact that he brought that this week and how much I tailored my team around, there's another Curse Body. Every time I've hit him this match, Curse Body is activated. But all the mons on his team, you have to prep for Mega Aerodactyl speed hardcore because it is so fast. I think it's like 2nd to 3rd fastest mon in Pokemon. So that's something you really have to plan for when you come up against his team, and he really played that strategy and team building well by counter teaming against it. And I saw that Trick Room, and I was just like, you are so cheeky. But bring Jalapeno back out here because I know I can take anything he wants to do to me. Unless he's carrying the Toxic, which I doubt on a Trick Room set. So, not have to worry about the residual damage. We make the good play here, predicting him to switch into Cobalion, go for the Focus Blast, and miss. And does that ultimately matter? No. Does it kind of make up for the miss on Mamoswine? Yes and no, because I mean, if you want to be one of those people who says miss for miss, hacks for hacks, which is stupid, then yes, you can pretend that. But I mean, I would have 2-shot it had they both hit. Had the first one hit, I probably would have gone for a different move the second turn, but I mean, that's not really here. And he's going to set up a Rock Polish as I switch out to preserve my Tangrowth, who survived the close combat, and I just sacking off A-Train here. He did everything we needed him to do, and I don't need him specifically for anything as of right now. Gonna bring Winston back out to face this Cobalion because I'm pretty sure, depending on his spread, I can take any one hit from it. He's gonna drop that close combat, and we survive with 6 HP, and that is awesome. He's at -2 defense and special defense now because of the first close combat he dropped on my Tangrowth, and we're just going to slack off that turn, which was a great call in my opinion because it gets us back to a decent amount of health where we can manage this thing a little bit better. So I go for another slack off in the event that Earthquake for some reason wouldn't have killed. I don't know why I wouldn't have, but I just wanted to be at full health. So he's going to bring John Cena out, and I'm going to set up the Stealth Rocks here because he's really switching his team around, and I want him to start taking damage for that, especially since I knocked the leftovers off of Jellicent. I want that thing taking as much residual damage as I can put on it, as well as everything else. But I see he's going to start bulking up here, and I am the Roar set, so I am just going to attempt to roar him out here. He's going to go for the Ice Punch, and that does less than half after a bulk up, so I'm like, okay, I'm doing good. And there's Freeze, and we stay frozen solid, and I'm just like, oh man, that stinks a lot, because this thing stands in the way of a lot of the rest of his team, and it shuffles his bonds out and it stops them from setting up, especially Cobalion in this thing, because it just roars them out. And I go for roar again, and nothing happens because I stay frozen. We are ice, ice, baby. And yeah, that's just, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I didn't get paralyzed like I did in the PPL. I got freaking frozen. And it's just like, oh man. But you know, stuff happens. 10% rolls happen all the time, and we stay frozen until Machamp takes out Hippowdon. So that's super unfortunate because we lost our Sand Setter. But we're going to bring Hank out here, and Hank one-shots this thing all day long, unless he's Assault Vest, max special defense, and max HP. And I think I even knock it out all the time, sometimes not. So he's going to bring out Braveheart here, and I'm just going to fire off the Hurricane. And I know anything that comes in is pretty much dead, because Jellicent can't take 2 of those. Starmie can't take 2 of those. I outspeed Starmie. And I outspeed the rest of his team. I knew at that point nothing on his team was scarfed. And he's going to bring out Jellicent here. And I'm like, he's going to set up the Trick Room. I'm going to set up the Roost, so I'm at decent amount of health that I can manage this thing. Because as long as he has that Machamp is still a serious issue for my team. And this is the only thing left that does super effective damage and can one-shot it if need be. I was going to go for the Scald here, and I'm just going to go for a Hurricane. I know this should do right around 50%. And I get the Curse Body. So I can't even bird spam on this thing because it Curse Bodied me the first time I Hurricaned it. Just going to Roost here because I figured he was going to recover, and I can just U-turn out. Now, what made me upset, well, not upset, what made this playing the Trick Room a little bit more difficult when the Hurricane was disabled was I could just sit here and bird spam and heal until the Trick Room faded and then just wipe them out. But since that happened, I wasn't able to do that, and probably should have switched out before I roosted that last turn, and as a result, I end up getting burnt with that Scald. We're going to bring Jalapeno back out here because max HP, max special defense, Assault Vest, we can take anything this thing wants to do to us. And we are just going to go for the Giga Drain. And Dimensions return to normal, so we are going to be able to two-shot this thing here. Didn't get Curse Body that turn, which was fantastic. Which means if we bring Starmie in, we're going to be able to get health back when we kill it. But Curse Body hits that turn, and now Giga Drain is disabled. Now all we have left is Starmie and Machamp. And I know at this health, Starmie can't kill me with an Ice Beam unless he max roll crits. So we're going to survive, and that is awesome, and him going down to Life Orb is going to deny Tangrowth a third kill this week, which is just how it is, because Tangrowth deserved it because he put in tons of work and took tons of hits. We're going to switch out here because I don't want Tangrowth to go down because it's done such a good job this week, and I want to get that Regenerator in the event that something crazy happens right here. I want Heracles, because it's my most expendable mon at this point. It doesn't do a lot to Machamp that anything else doesn't do. And we're going to send Hank out here after Heracles got sacrificed, and Hank is just going to Hurricane this thing right in the face and take it out. So that is a 3-0 victory for your Pittsburgh Pirattatas in Week 1 of the GBA Season 6. So alright guys, if you enjoyed this battle, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't so far, make sure you go over and check Tom out. His links will be in the description. Link in the description to the shirt shop, which has our shirt in there. Go get it, send me a picture, and you will be in a video. Alright guys, it's been OldManTup. Catch you on the flip side. Peace.